Welcome to Deer Hunt Productions, the channel for videos about all your favorite horror games. I'm DanCat33, and today Blake and I want to share our Bendy x Dead by Daylight crossover concept, featuring the Ink Demon as the killer and Henry and Audrey as the survivors. We'll start with the most iconic out of the bunch, the little devil darling himself, the Ink Demon. Similar to other killers, the Ink Demon would move at 4.6 meters per second, and his terror radius would be 36 meters. Onto his power, it's a bit complicated, so bear with me here. At the start of each trial, the ink machine will spawn in a random location on the map, along with 4 pedestals located in front of it. Randomly spread across the map will be 6 mystery boxes. These can contain one of the 6 items. Those items are a Bendy plushie, a record, a bottle of ink, an illusion of living book, a wrench, or gear. After collecting any of these items, they will be taken by the entity and instantly placed on one of the 4 pedestals. During the trial, when the ink demon hits survivors, much like the Ani's blood orbs, survivors will begin to drop blots of ink. Absorbing these blots will begin to fill the Ink Demon's power gauge. Once completely filled, the Ink Demon will have the ability to use his next power, Moving Pictures. Activating Moving Pictures will start the ink machine, causing it to pump out ink, which will slowly begin to fill the Ink Demon's new power gauge over the course of 60 seconds. If the gauge isn't interrupted by survivors finding every ritual item and stopping the flow of the ink, then the Ink Demon can use his new ability to become undetectable and gain 7% haste for the remainder of the time the ink flows. If the ink machine is turned off mid-power, then the Ink Demon will be allowed to use what remains of the gauge until it runs out, granting him smaller buffs such as smaller percentages of haste and no undetectable. With that old song out of the way, let's talk about his 3 personal perks. His first perk is Hex, Demon's Domain. When this Hex is active, any survivor entering the basement will cause every other survivor on the map to scream, revealing their location. Along with this, each survivor will be afflicted with the blindness status effect for 20 seconds. This perk can make for some good plays now that the basement chest is more valuable due to the latest update. His next perk is the Illusion of Living. Any survivor who is unhooked in the basement is inflicted with the Deep Wound status effect, slowing down the game for survivors and allowing more time for collecting ink and generator kicking. His final perk is Dark Revival. This perk calls upon the entity to grant a much needed speed boost during the endgame. Once the exit gates are powered, gain 25% haste for 7 seconds. This perk is similar to the survivor perk Adrenaline, but simply switched over to the killer, so they can use that quick boost and catch up with any prey who've nearly escaped their grasp. Next, we have the Ink Demon's 2 iridescent add-ons. The first of these is Sammy's Mask. This add-on will grant the Ink Demon undetectable for 30 seconds at the start of the trial, and whenever the ink machine is activated. This add-on lets the Ink Demon get a sneaky start and buff to the early game. Combining this add-on with the Nemesis's Lethal Pursuer perk will ensure at least a couple of good hits, getting the ball rolling. For his second iridescent add-on, we decide on the strongest item in the cycle, the End Reel. This reel will completely fill the Ink Demon's power gauge as soon as the last generator is repaired. Combining this with perks such as Remember Me, and Blood Warden will give you some good late game hooks and those sweet blood points. With all the gameplay aside, let's talk about his cosmetics. The Ink Demon will come with his base cosmetic, which pulls from his appearance in Dark Revival. The perfect demonic look so gracefully given to us by Wilson. Next would be his prestige cosmetics. These would cover him in blood. Since both blood and ink are liquids, these would mix together for a really gross looking texture, which you can see on the Steam page for Bendy the Cage. His next cosmetic is called Silly Vision. This would change the Ink Demon's bones to white and his bow tie to red, using colors pulled straight from the ending of Bendy in the Dark Revival. His final cosmetic is named Hell Froze Over. This cosmetic changes his bones to an icy blue, so even while sacrificing the innocent, he can still do so in a good seasonal fashion. Now that we've covered the Ink Demon, let's discuss the 2 survivors who are included in this chapter. First, we'll start with everyone's favorite bacon soup drinking world champion, Henry Stein. Henry is the main protagonist of Bendy the Ink Machine, and is a copy of the man responsible for creating the dancing demon himself. Just like his inky son, Henry comes with 3 personal perks. The first of which is Who's Laughing Now? This perk makes it so for every 2 seconds you walk or crouch while in chase, you gain 1 token with a maximum of 10. Once you gain at least 5 tokens, hold right click to aim in any direction. After choosing the direction, use the left click to create a trail of scratch marks that stretches 5 meters, along with running noises. This perk would be super fun for tricking killers and for meme builds. Henry's next perk is named Briar Label. After healing any other survivor for 2 health states, press the activate ability button 2 to drink a can of bacon soup and remove all negative effects applied to you. The only exceptions to this perk are the Doctor's Madness, the Exposed status effect, and Broken. Henry's final perk is Boon, Bendy's Mural. This Boon perk increases the range of blessed totems with Bendy's mural applied by 8 meters. This perk would need to be used along with other boon perks to be effective. Now onto the best character in the series, and Henry's maybe niece, Audrey. Audrey is the main protagonist of Bendy in the Dark Revival, and the daughter of Joey Drew and his beautiful wife, the Ink Machine. This half-human, half-ink hybrid comes with 3 personal perks. The first perk is Coffee Break. After completing 40% progress on any generator, press the activate ability button to get a 20% repair and heal speed bonus for 40 seconds. Combining this perk with other perks, such as Prove Thyself and bringing a toolbox, could make for a speedy repair build. Her next perk is called Worthy Sacrifice. This perk grants every survivor a permanent stackable 3% repair boost for every survivor that enters the second hook state, for a max of 12%. When survivors are sacrificed, however, the percentage is decreased by 2. Her final perk is Free to Choose. When you're the final survivor remaining in a trial, your scratch marks disappear 3 seconds faster. Along with this, the speed at which you open the exit gates is increased by 15%. With the perks out of the way, let's move on to the survivors' cosmetics. Both Henry and Audrey come with their base cosmetics taken from their appearances from the Cycle and Dark Revival, and Prestige cosmetics, which cover them both in blood. Audrey's first unique cosmetic is the Archgate Animator. She comes with a cosmetic that takes her out of her inky form and puts her back in her human appearance from the beginning of Dark Revival. Her second cosmetic is named Daughter of Drew. This spooky cosmetic covers her in a fresh new coat of ink and replaces her left hand with one similar to the Ink Demon's. This outfit also gives her a snazzy vest, bow tie, and a mini pair of horns to represent her link with the Ink Demon. Her next 2 cosmetics aren't whole outfits, but rather head cosmetics. The first one is called Abyss Festivity. This cosmetic is a nice little Santa hat taken straight from the Winter Abyss event in Dark Revival. Similarly, her next cosmetic, simply known as Slicer Mask, gives her the Slicer Mask, which was available during the Ink Demon Eve event after completing a few Halloween-themed quests. Next up is Henry. Unfortunately, he only comes with 1 cosmetic, but it's a good one. Henry would come with Sammy Lawrence as a legendary skin. There's no way we can make a Bendy x Dead by Daylight concept without including this fan favorite. This legendary skin would come with unique lobby animations and in-game voice lines. For some explanation of when he's taken into the realm, in Bendy and the Ink Machine during the 5th chapter, Sammy comes back from the dead and tries to kill Henry. Thankfully, Henry gets the better of him and knocks his mask off, making him hide his face. After Henry approaches him, he makes one last effort to try and kill him, but it gets cut short by Tom sneaking up on him and finishing him off. Since the entity takes most characters right before or as they're dying, this would be the perfect spot to take Sammy into the realm. Now with all the gameplay, perks, and cosmetics out of the way, we have one final thing to show you. That's all we've got for this Dead by Daylight concept, but be sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Also follow us on our socials linked in the description, and please consider buying a super thanks on this video. Thanks for watching, and check out some of our other videos.